written by Neil deGrasse Tyson, Athens, 399 BC. A hush falls over the assembled citizens, the weight of judgment hangs heavy in the air. Before them stands Socrates, accused of corrupting the youth and impiety. His crime? Questioning the very foundations of Athenian morality and tradition.
My relentless inquiries, my pursuit of truth, regardless of where it leads, have become an irritant to the Athenian establishment.
The city, still reeling from its defeat in the Peloponnesian War, clung desperately to its traditions and beliefs. Socrates, in their eyes, represented a dangerous element, a catalyst for doubt and dissent. The trial's outcome, a guilty verdict and a sentence of death, exposed a growing chasm in Athenian society. This rigidity, this unwillingness to adapt and evolve, would ultimately contribute to Athens' decline as a leading power. The seeds of doubt, sown by Socrates' trial, would slowly but surely germinate in the fertile soil of societal unrest. Enter Diogenes of Sinope, a generation after Socrates. This eccentric philosopher took the questioning of societal norms to a whole new level, living in a barrel, rejecting material possessions, and engaging in outrageous public acts. Diogenes embodied a radical form of philosophy, cynicism. He ridiculed Athenian customs, mocked their materialism, and challenged their very notion of what constituted a good life.
Imagine the bustling Athenian agora, the heart of the city. Merchants hawk their wares, citizens debate politics, and philosophers engage in lofty discussions. Amidst this vibrant tapestry of Athenian life, I choose to perform my daily ablutions, in public using a chamber pot.
Such acts, shocking and absurd, were deliberate provocations aimed at exposing the hypocrisy he saw at the core of Athenian society. Diogenes' outlandish behavior, tolerated and even celebrated by some, reveals a fascinating shift in Athenian attitudes. What would have been unthinkable in Socrates' time, even considered a threat to public order, was now met with amusement or even admiration. This tolerance, however, was not necessarily a sign of open-mindedness or cultural progress. To understand this complex interplay between societal values and an empire's trajectory, it helps to envision a cycle, a journey from inception to decline. Every empire throughout history has traversed this path, marked by distinct phases that shape its character and ultimately determine its fate. These phases are not merely political or economic, they are intrinsically linked to the moral and social fabric of the empire itself. The first phase, the birth of an empire, is often characterized by a shared sense of purpose. A common goal, be it territorial expansion, economic prosperity, or cultural dominance, binds the populace together. There's a spirit of unity, a collective aspiration that fuels the empire's early growth. This shared vision extends to moral values as well. There's a clear understanding of right and wrong, a shared code of conduct that underpins the empire's social contract. As the empire expands, entering its growth phase, this initial unity begins to face challenges. The influx of new territories and peoples brings with it a diversity of customs, beliefs, and values. The empire's leadership faces a critical choice: to assimilate or to suppress. The early days of an empire are often marked by a remarkable sense of unity and shared purpose. Emerging from a period of chaos or hardship, the people find solace and strength in their collective identity. This unity is not merely political or military, it's deeply rooted in a shared set of values, a common understanding of right and wrong. Think of the early Roman Republic, a small city-state striving for survival against powerful neighbors. What bound its citizens together was not just a desire for conquest, but a deep respect for their laws, their traditions, and their gods. This shared moral compass provided a framework for their society, guiding their actions and shaping their interactions. This strong moral foundation was instrumental in their rise to power, enabling them to overcome internal disputes and external threats. This sense of shared values is crucial in the early stages of empire building. As an empire expands, it inevitably encounters diverse cultures and belief systems. This clash of values presents a challenge to the empire's leadership. To maintain control and ensure stability, there's often a tendency to codify and enforce the dominant moral code, often at the expense of diversity and individual expression. The Roman Empire, in its expansion across Europe and beyond, faced this very dilemma. While initially tolerant of local customs, Roman rulers soon recognized the need to impose a degree of cultural uniformity. The adoption of Roman law, language, and religion became central to their strategy of integration and control. This process, while essential for maintaining order, also led to the suppression of local traditions and beliefs, sowing the seeds of future discontent. On the one hand, it provides a sense of stability and order, essential for managing a vast and diverse empire. On the other hand, it can stifle creativity, dissent, and the very diversity that often fuels innovation and progress. Reaching the pinnacle of power and prosperity, an empire might seem invincible. Its coffers overflow with the spoils of conquest, its cities gleam with architectural marvels, and its influence extends far and wide. However, beneath this glittering surface, cracks often begin to appear in the once solid foundation of shared values. The Roman Empire, at its zenith under the Pax Romana, epitomizes this paradox. While enjoying unprecedented peace and prosperity, Roman society also witnessed a decline in traditional values. The old virtues of discipline, self-sacrifice, and civic duty began to erode, replaced by a pursuit of luxury, entertainment, and personal gain. This shift in values, a byproduct of material success and unchecked power, weakened the social fabric from within. As an empire enters its decline, the cracks in its moral foundation widen into chasms. The shared values that once unified the populace begin to fragment, replaced by cynicism, apathy, and a loss of faith in the established order. This moral decay is often both a symptom and a contributing factor to the empire's downfall. The later Roman Empire, plagued by corruption, economic instability, and barbarian invasions, witnessed a surge in cynicism and despair. The once revered institutions, the Senate, the army, even the emperor himself, became objects of ridicule and scorn. This loss of faith in authority, coupled with a growing sense of disillusionment, eroded the empire's ability to address its mounting problems. The breakdown of shared values, the loss of faith in leadership, and the erosion of civic virtue create a fertile ground for apathy, instability, and ultimately collapse. The encounter between Diogenes and Alexander the Great stands as a powerful symbol of this late-stage decline. Alexander, the ambitious conqueror at the pinnacle of his power, seeks out the reclusive philosopher.
Standing before Diogenes, who resides in a barrel, I offer him anything he desires.
Stand out of my sunlight.
This seemingly simple request speaks volumes about the state of Athenian society. Diogenes, in his rejection of material wealth and worldly power, represents a complete detachment from the values that Alexander embodies. His cynicism, his disregard for convention, reflects the disillusionment and apathy that permeated a society on the brink of collapse. The final act in the cycle of empires is often swift and brutal. Weakened by internal decay and external pressures, the once mighty empire crumbles, leaving behind fragments of its former glory. The collapse is not merely a political or military event, it's the ultimate manifestation of the erosion of shared values, the disintegration of the social contract that once held the empire together. The fall of the Roman Empire, a gradual process spanning centuries, exemplifies this interconnectedness of moral decay and political collapse. As Roman society became increasingly fragmented, its institutions corrupt, and its citizens disillusioned, the empire became vulnerable to both internal strife and external invasion. The barbarians at the gates were merely the final blow to a structure already weakened from within. The true strength of a civilization lies in its shared values, its sense of unity, and its commitment to the common good. The fall of empires, from ancient Athens to Rome, offers valuable lessons for the present. These historical echoes remind us that power is transient, that wealth can be fleeting, and that even the mightiest of empires are not immune to moral decay. The cycle of empires is a cautionary tale urging us to learn from the past. The rise and fall of empires highlight a recurring theme, the crucial link between societal values and stability. From ancient Egypt to the Mongol Empire, the story remains similar. Empires built on shared values, unity, and the common good thrive, while those that succumb to internal divisions falter. These parallels remind us that true strength lies in the character of its people. The question that lingers is whether we as a global civilization can break free from this seemingly inevitable cycle of empires. Can we create a sustainable and just world order that avoids the pitfalls of past empires and ensures the well-being of both humanity and the planet? The answer lies not in repeating the mistakes of the past, but in forging a new path based on cooperation, mutual respect, and a shared commitment to a sustainable future. This requires a fundamental shift in our values, away from the relentless pursuit of power and profit, towards a more enlightened understanding of our interconnectedness and our responsibility to future generations. The choice is ours, to heed the lessons of history or to repeat the mistakes that have led to the downfall of countless civilizations before us.